watching Fox 10 Phoenix now.
A woman is recovering from several burns that she suffered before Phoenix fire crews rescued her from a burning home.
Yeah, so crews are sharing this video from the scene that you're going to see here in a second in a neighborhood near 83rd Avenue and Indian School Road. So this happened right around 7:45 last night. No one else was inside the house at the time and no other injuries were reported by firefighters, but the victim is expected to survive. The cause of the fire still not known at this time.
Crews battle a house fire in Phoenix overnight. We have a look at the flames this morning from a neighborhood near 26th Street and Mountain View Road. The flames were quite intense. The house is vacant, according to the firefighters who arrived. No one was hurt and the cause is under investigation. We also are covering here a deadly crash in the West Valley, and this one, of course, heartbreaking details to share.
Yeah, Avondale police say a suspected drunk driver struck and killed an 11-year-old child. It happened as the victim was crossing the street near 107th Avenue and Thomas Road a little after 5 p.m. last evening. Police say the driver did stop, was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. We are still waiting for additional details from police. A possible deadly crash under investigation on the other side of the valley. It happened just off of the Loop 101 in Scottsdale at the Pima Road and 90th Street exit. The ramp from the northbound lanes to 90th Street closed during the investigation. DPS would not confirm any injuries, but our photojournalists on the scene did appear to see a body associated with this bad crash there. New concerns about drug smuggling in Valley jails after 12 inmates overdosed, including a female inmate that died. Yeah,
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office believes inmates are smuggling drugs into the jails, and now they will have to go through X-ray scanners. The overdoses happened in two different situations. The first, February 6th, 8 inmates were affected. The second, last Friday, when 4 inmates overdosed and one of them died. In both cases, officers found fentanyl. MCSO expects further charges once they determine which inmate is responsible for bringing in the drugs that caused an inmate to die.
Approximately 7 to 8 grams in a plastic bag. Those were removed by the inmate from her body cavity and given to detention officers. Information is documented that some individuals purposely get booked into jail to bring and introduce drugs into our jail facilities.
There it goes. Inmates and visitors are scanned at the prison, but when Jerry Sheridan took office, he removed body scanners for employees as a way to earn their trust. MCSO says Sheriff Sheridan is standing by that policy, and every jail in the county will now get an X-ray scanner very soon.
Well, this morning, a Valley veteran who served 2 tours in Iraq is facing deportation stemming from something that his wife says happened a decade ago.
She spoke with us here at Fox 10 as she works to bring him back home. Danielle Miller live with the details this morning. Hi, Danielle.
Well, good morning. We're talking about Marlon Paris. He was detained by ICE. It happened about 3 weeks ago, all while he was out running an errand for his family. And it was based on time he served for a nonviolent drug charge. His wife, Tanisha Paris, says that he has been a legal U.S. resident since being issued a green card back in 1997. He successfully renewed it every 10 years. And back 10 years ago, he pleaded guilty to that drug charge. He served prison time and was released in 2016. Tanisha says that changed his life. He went on to graduate from GCU, summa cum laude, and started the family business they still own today. She also says that back in 2016, a signed letter by the Department of Homeland Security and ICE states that he is not amenable to deportation or exclusion proceedings. DHS has no further interest in this case.
Here we are 9 years later with no type of occurrences, nothing as much as a speeding ticket. You to be true to your word. You check the box, put your signature on something stating that he would not be deported.
And Marlon is being held at the detention center in Florence since he was picked up about 3 weeks ago. We did reach out to ICE and the Department of Homeland Security for comment on this particular case. We have not yet heard back. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Danielle, thank you.
Developing now at the Capitol, a new bill aimed at boosting border security is getting the backing of Arizona's top prosecutor.
House Bill 2733, as it's called, would allow local law enforcement to shoot down drones potentially carrying narcotics into our state. Right now, only federal authorities can target drones crossing over the border. Some of these drones can actually, according to Attorney General Chris Mays, she was speaking about this, can carry up to 35 pounds of narcotics. So she supports the proposal. Take a listen here.
They're flying the fentanyl into remote areas of the desert. They're dropping the fentanyl in those areas, and then they're telling their couriers exactly where it is using GPS, and then the couriers come in and pick it up in the desert. It's not in the middle of Sierra Vista.
And they can travel about 70 miles. So let's say they're 35 miles south of the border. Those drones can then travel north about 35 miles north of the border. It's quite the process. So if this bill passes, May says her office will work with the FAA to combat the drones and provide local law enforcement with drone jammers, as they're called, which interrupt their signal and can cause them to crash.
Arizona Senate Republicans also advancing another border-related bill out of committee, SB 1164, known as the Arizona ICE Act, that would require county sheriff's deputies and the Department of Corrections, Rehabilitation, and Reentry to support federal enforcement of immigration laws. The agencies would be trained to enforce the federal laws. Jails and prisons would also be required to hold detainees for up to 48 hours to give ICE time to arrest and deport undocumented migrants.
Deport must! Deport must! Deport must!
Well, Arizona home to one of many No Kings on President's Day protests. Demonstrators rallying against President Trump's immigration crackdown, along with Elon Musk's massive spending cuts through the Department of Government Efficiency, also called DOGE.
We're out here just to make our voices heard and to speak for people who can't.
It's about humanity. Where did we lose our humanity?
In a statement to Fox 10, the Arizona Republican Majority Caucus defended the president, saying House Republicans stand unequivocally with President Trump in his commitment to secure the border and enforce America's immigration law. Also developing at the Capitol, legislative immunity is now being called into question in Arizona.
Yeah, over the past few weeks, speeding tickets have been dropped for Arizona legislators Jake Hoffman and Mark Fincham. This is due to a state law shielding state lawmakers from civil process and non-felony arrest during the legislative session. But now a state representative named Quang Nguyen from Prescott is introducing a resolution to end this practice for traffic violations. So if this is passed by the House and Senate, it will become a ballot measure in next year's election.
The so-called slowpoke bill passes in the Arizona House, and all you very fast drivers out there are probably in favor of this one. The bill would add a $250 fine for drivers who poke along in the left lane without passing anyone. You know, that third lane over or that left lane, it's for passing. So if you're not driving fast or passing, you should probably move over a lane or two. This would also add bigger signs along the roadways, reminding drivers to only use the left lane for passing. This only applies to highways and state routes with 2 lanes. The bill now moves on to the state Senate. Baseball is back in the Valley. Major league teams across the Valley gearing up for the 2025 season, which begins with Cactus League action this Thursday in Glendale. So
the Chicago Cubs will play the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers at Camelback Ranch at 1:05. So take a look at this. This map shows all of the spring training facilities here in the Valley, and Camelback Ranch is one of 8 Arizona facilities with the chance to make a list of the top 10 spring training stadiums in the country as voted on by fans. The USA Today enlisted a panel of experts that picked their top 20 based on fan amenities, views, and atmosphere. 12 are in Florida. The rest are right here in Arizona. Joining Camelback Ranch on the list is Goodyear Ballpark, Salt River Fields in Scottsdale, Scottsdale Stadium, Sloan Park in Mesa, Surprise Stadium, Tempe Diablo, and the Peoria Sports Complex. Fans have until March 17th to cast their vote on the USA Today website. The top 10 will be revealed March 26th.
Yeah, Florida has some teams, but we have better fields.
There you go.
And we have a dry heat. They've got very humid conditions. So anyways, speaking of the Peoria Sports Complex, though, Irene is there live this morning with what fans can expect when they come to the ballpark to catch some Cactus League action. One of the best fields in the Valley. Hi, Irene.
Hey guys, good morning. Always fun to be out here ahead of spring training. Been to the Peoria Sports Complex many times at this point. Just take a look here. I mean, obviously empty at this point because we're waiting for fans, we're waiting for players, all of that excitement here leading up to spring training, which starts here on Friday. So we're going to talk this morning here with Blake about what's new here at the Peoria Sports Complex. You were saying there's a lot of new things to expect this year.
Yeah, good morning. Well, this year is going to be our 32nd year of spring training with the San Diego Padres and the Seattle Mariners. So we have a number of different promotions that we're going to do. Some are staples, but some are new. We have recognition days for educators, for medical professionals, for active and retired military veterans. We're doing some new food items at the ballpark this year, some popular walking tacos, as we like to call them. We have some signature hot dogs featuring kind of some key ingredients from our team's hometown markets in Seattle and San Diego. A wide offering of all kinds of craft beers from the Pacific Northwest and Southern California markets, as well as right here in local Arizona.
And you were saying you have some special days too. Everyone knows I'm a dog lover. Anyone who watches regularly or any of the anchors pretty much know. You have a Bark in the Park Day coming up too, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to do 4 or 5 of those. Basically, it's an opportunity to just come out with your furry friends. We save a spot on the lawn for people with their dogs. Mm-hmm. And the proceeds for the dog ticket itself actually benefits local animal humane societies.
That's great. All right, and you were telling me, so right here, the first game of the Valley is on Thursday. Your first game here at the Peoria Sports Complex is on Friday. So what is this week leading up to that? You were saying it's pretty hectic.
It is hectic. I mean, if you guys want to hang around and pitch in and help out, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll make sure to stick around here and help you out getting ready.
We got a lot of hot dogs to roll. We got a lot of things to do, for sure. It's a busy week. There's 9 other Cactus League facilities, and we're all in the same boat, just getting ready for this kind of 5-week stretch of spring training games just about every single day.
What is the excitement like for you leading up to it? In addition to it being hectic, I imagine there's some excitement around here too.
Absolutely. I mean, so for our facility, we're right in the middle of Peoria, right in the middle of the P83 Entertainment District. There's a lot of just restaurants and shopping and everything to do around here. We have 3 new ones actually right behind our outfield wall that are really popular. So there's just a lot to do and make a day out of it and come into the ballpark at Peoria Sports Complex.
Awesome. Make sure to check it out. What time is the game on Friday?
1:10 p.m.
All right, 1:10 p.m. is the first official spring training game here at the Peoria Sports Complex. Be sure to check that out. As you mentioned, tons of new food items, a lot of fun stuff.
So Irene says 1:10. We say
said 1:05
because we want you to be early.
Yes, get there 5 minutes early.
Beat the crowds.
Yes, there you go. That 5 minutes is going to make
Be sure to get your seats.
Yeah.
Thank you, Irene.